Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about 3 common mistakes which beginner freedivers do when they train static apnea. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, my name is Sergey, I'm a freediving instructor trainer, and on this channel we're talking about freediving. So if you're a beginner or intermediate freediver, make sure to subscribe to this channel because there's going to be a lot of useful information for you. Okay, so 3 common mistakes for the static apnea. Mistake number 1, it is when freediver start practicing breath holding without proper understanding what is going on during the breath hold. And it can happen when someone just decide to do a breath hold training without doing freediving course. Let's say this can be one option. The second option, it is someone who did freediving course but forget half of the information or maybe everything, or maybe didn't understand correctly. So for these people, I highly recommend to first learn what's happening during the breath hold. The best place to learn freediving theory is a freediving course where your instructor is going to teach you proper technique, proper theory, and also check how you understand it and help you to apply this theory for your practical sessions. However, if you don't have such option, or maybe if you already did the course and now just forget and want to refresh, then you can check out my videos which I done a few months ago about the freediving theory. The link is going to be in the description. So why it is important? Because if you don't understand such concepts as like relaxation breathing, as hyperventilation, arch to breathe, dive reflex, recovery breathing, if you don't understand like clearly such concepts, then your training is going to be compromised. More likely you're going to make some mistakes which are going to compromise your results or maybe even your safety. So guys, before you start practicing breath hold, before you start practicing static apnea, make sure your theory, your knowledge, your freediving knowledge is solid. Okay, mistake number 2, it is when freedivers focus too much on the end goal. So they're thinking, okay, I need to hold my breath for 3 minutes. I need to hold my breath for 4 minutes, for whatever reason. Maybe because their friend hold it for 3 minutes and now they need to do it at least the same or maybe even more. This end result, this like a maximum time, it's maybe half place when you are more accomplished freediver and you, let's say, competing and want to become a national record holder or maybe world record holder, whatever. So then maybe it makes sense. However guys, for you as the beginners and intermediate freedivers, this doesn't make sense at all. So if you hold your breath for 2 minutes or for 2:15 or for 2:30, it's not that important, right? So what you can focus instead, for example, you can focus on the amount of time which you spend for freediving training. You maybe can have a goal for the next, like for the December, for coming December 2020. Maybe you're going to decide, okay, I'm going to have at least 10 freediving training sessions where I'm going to work on my static apnea. Maybe more, but not less than that. And again, it's guaranteed that if you are training, if you do a 10 training session, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to be a better freediver at the end, especially if you're training correctly, right? You need to have a like correct plan for your freediving training sessions. So like this is, in my opinion, is one of the goals. The another goal can be to improve your no contractions time. So if your current no contractions time, let's say 120, let's say you're holding your breath and at 120 you have your arch to breathe. Maybe if you need a goal, maybe your goal is going to be, okay, let's train and improve my no contractions time, and let's say by the end of December I want to have maybe 2 minute no contractions time, maybe 2:20. Yeah, so now instead of focusing on just super random number, you're focusing on no contraction number, and actually this number is connected with your ability to relax, right? So you can say that you are focusing on your relaxation, which is good. So instead of focusing on your maximum breath hold, focus on your relaxation time. I did the video about such table as a no contractions table. a few months ago, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really helpful. In my opinion, it is one of the best way how to train static for the beginner intermediate freedivers. So check it out, really helpful video. But the basic idea to just do a series of breath hold and always finishing when you have urge to breathe. Okay guys, this was the second mistake. The third mistake, it is when freedivers focusing too much on their CO2 tolerance. Don't get me wrong, of course CO2 tolerance is really important in freediving. For any discipline, static, dynamic, depths, CO2 tolerance is important. However, remember, this is not only one thing on which you can work on. So as any other sport, in freediving we can work on our technique, we can work on our physiology, and we can work on our psychology. So now when you're focusing only on a CO2 tolerance, you are focusing on like changing your physiology, changing your tolerance to the CO2 level. But this should not be priority at the beginning, because in the beginning you're supposed to change your form, you're supposed to change your technique. This is my recommendation. Instead of focusing too much on CO2 tolerance, focus on your technique. And in static, what kind of technique we have? We have a relaxation. You need to be able to completely relax before the breath hold. You need to be completely relaxed during the breath hold, during the easy part, before you urge to breathe. And you need to be completely relaxed during the so-called struggling phase when you have urge to breathe. So you want to improve this technique, you want to improve your ability to relax in all situations. Before the breath hold, during the breath hold, easy part, during the breath hold, hard part, right? So this is your goal, this is your priority. Your number one is to improve this technique. And indirectly, this is gonna change your physiology as well. Indirectly, it's gonna help you to tolerate CO2, like high level of CO2. But if you're just gonna focus on the CO2 tolerance, this is unlikely gonna improve your technique. This is why, in my opinion, it's much better to focusing on the technique. Okay guys, to summarize, 3 common mistakes: lack of knowledge, focusing on the maximum number, and focusing on too much on the CO2 tolerance. So what I recommend instead, make sure you refresh your knowledge, whether with a freediving instructor or maybe check my video. Instead of having maximum time as your goal, have a relaxation time as your goal, or maybe amount of training session. And instead of focusing on a CO2 tolerance, focus on your technique. Okay guys, this is it. Hopefully this video was helpful. Don't forget to click the like button if you like it, and I will see you next time.